back to my channel. Hi, my name is Roxanne. If this is your first time here, then welcome. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of my favorite things from the month of January. These are non-book related, just so that maybe I can share some other things with you guys, or through the things that I talk to you, maybe we get to know each other more, besides just the bookish side of me. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a Netflix show. It's called One Day at a Time, and it is a remake of a sitcom back in like the 80s or 90s or at some point that was also called One Day at a Time, and it is about a Cuban American family, and it is amazing. I loved it so much. I will leave links to everything that I mentioned down below, but oh my gosh, this is amazing. If you like Jane the Virgin, then you'll like this as well. It is a silly, funny sitcom, and it talks about so many important things. So it has a single mom who is dealing with mental issues, who is a veteran, and she has PTSD, and it talks about veterans issues and mental health and being a single mom, and it's amazing. It has a lesbian daughter, and it talks about her coming out and her discovering her sexuality and her relationship with her mom and her grandma and everyone in her family after she comes out, and it's amazing. It talks about immigrant issues because there is an immigrant best friend there. The grandma is an immigrant. They're Cuban American, so you talk about immigrant issues. They talk about alcoholism. They talk about religion. They talk about it's such a feminist show. I freaking love it. It's so good. So I think it gets better the more that you watch it. So maybe watch like 2 or 3 episodes. They're really short, and just give it a shot, please, because it's so amazing. And it has Rita Moreno as the grandma, who is perfect, beautiful. She can do no wrong. She's like my Puerto Rican queen. And yeah, if you don't know who Rita Moreno is, if you watch Jane the Virgin at all, then she's Rogelio's mom in Jane the Virgin. If you've watched West Side Story, she is what's her name? Anita in West Side Story. She is just amazing. I freaking love her so much. But yes, please watch the show, and be ready for the last like 4 episodes to just be crying the whole time. It's supposed to be a sitcom, and it's funny, and it is funny, but at the same time they talk about some things that I was just like crying hysterically. Another sort of thing that I watched was Hidden Figures this past month, and it was amazing. I'm so glad that it's getting so much attention and awards and everything. Taraji is amazing. The other actresses and actors are also just absolutely amazing. Please, if you have time, go watch it. I don't think it's come out in some countries internationally, but when it does, in whatever country you are in, please take some time and go watch it. It's important, and it's poignant and so good. I love it so much. Another, as far as music goes, if you watched my Anything But Books tag, I talked about these 2 songs, but I really liked Bruno Mars before, or I liked him. I liked some of the songs that would get popular in the radio, but for some reason, something this past January told me to like actually sit down and listen to his music, and I did, and I fell in love with him. And he is, I don't want to say half, but he is Puerto Rican, I think, on his father's side, I think. So I'm just like, yeah, bro. But yeah, he's amazing. I love him. His songs are just like, oh, yes. And then I am also really digging the song Despacito by Luis Fonsi featuring Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee is the guy that did the song Gasolina. I don't know if you guys know that, but yeah, I'll link it down below because it's awesome and it makes me want to dance. Yeah. What else? Freaking women kicking ass all over the world. I participated in the Women's March this past January, and it was so kick-ass and so awesome, and it was empowering and amazing. I went to the Tallahassee one, which is I went with Planned Parenthood. I don't know if you guys know, but I volunteer with them, so I got the opportunity to go to the Tallahassee March with them, and there were like 15 or 20,000 people, and they were expecting something like 2,000, which was amazing. And I know that there were definitely some concerns with how inclusive or not it was being, but I think once those critiques started coming out, the more diverse women started getting involved, which is good. Obviously, we wish that they had been involved from the beginning, but I think overall it was so amazing to see that sort of response, that sort of international response too, is so amazing. And my only hope for that is that the women and the men who were involved and took time to do that will continue to be involved, and that it wasn't activism for show, you know, that it wasn't for the Instagram or anything like that. Like, I would really want everyone to continue to be as involved, to go to marches, to go to protests, to write, to call the representatives, to do everything that you can to be involved, because this affects everybody. It really does. Everything that's going on affects everybody in one way or another, and I really don't understand I mean, I've talked to people who are like, well, I only sort of get involved, or I only pay attention, or I only read about things when it directly involves me. And I'm just like, that's so selfish of you. And I understand that maybe, you know, for people's mental health, sometimes you need to take a step back or not be involved, and I totally get that. But if you were just like ignoring it just because you are privileged enough that it doesn't affect you, like, I'm side-eyeing you. I would just, my hope is definitely for everyone to continue to be as involved. And I guess we'll see, you know, as time goes. After was it still in January? I think it was. Still, actually, I have my calendar right here. I can check. Because when the Muslim ban came about, there were it was still in January. There were like instantaneous, because the Women's March was awesome, but it was planned. They had a couple months to plan it. When the Muslim travel ban came about, that was like instantaneous, just protests everywhere, and it was so amazing to see people still getting involved. They were not as big as the Women's March, but there was a lot of people still involved. Lawyers who were taking time out of their day to be present and help. People who, like, all the different nonprofits and organizations that got involved, the people of the community. There was immediately a march planned in the Orlando International Airport that I went to, and it was amazing to see so many people come together and really just let people know we're here, we're not fucking around, like, we're not gonna let shit slide. So I just hope that all, you know, continues. So yeah, those were some of my favorite things from January. Let me know if you watched any of the things that I watched, or listened to any of the things that I mentioned, or if you went to a march, or if you want to go to a march, or if you want ideas or want organizations that you can get involved with. Talk to me and I will help any of you in any way that I can. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Have a good one. Mwah.